Today I want to talk to you about making good decisions. Decisions are powerful. A good decision can put you years ahead in advance in life. A bad decision can put you years behind. But every decision involves risk. Imagine what it would be like to be able to confidently and consistently make good decisions, building your life of your dreams one day at a time. But many people are paralysed with fear when it comes to making decisions, and so they do nothing. But let's think about that for a moment. Doing nothing in and of itself is actually a decision, and often it's not the best one. Dr. Benjamin Carson is one of the world's greatest brain surgeons, and he's written a book called Take the Risk, and in it he gives a formula for how to make challenging decisions. I'm going to share it with you. It's a great tool to use in your own life. Let me give you a live example. Dr. Carson met this little girl named Miranda when she was only 4 years old. At the time, Miranda was having over 100 seizures a day. Everyone said she was going to die, unless, of course, Dr. Carson could do an incredible surgery, which is called a hemispherectomy. Now, that incredible surgery is very risky. In fact, often the patients will die during the surgery. What it involves, it's absolutely amazing. The surgeon actually removes half of the patient's brain. And if it goes well and they don't die, a human being can actually, believe it or not, live with only half of their brain and have a normal life. So what was Dr. Carson to do? He had to decide, should he do the dangerous surgery or not? He'd never even done it before. Well, this is where he introduced his formula for making decisions. It's called a BWA. It stands for Best Worst Analysis, and it involves asking 4 questions. Here's how it works. You ask these first 2 questions. What's the best and worst thing that would happen if I did do the surgery? Well, the best thing that would happen is little Miranda would stop having the seizures and she would be able to live an ordinary life. The worst thing, of course, a very real risk that she would die during the surgery. Now, the second 2 questions are, what's the best and worst thing that would happen if I do nothing? Well, in both those examples, she would die anyway. So this simple formula made decision-making easy in such a high-intensity situation. Even though the stakes were high, decision-making became easy. You can use this formula too. So you're probably wondering, what happened to little Miranda? Well, of course, Dr. Carson did the surgery. And when he did the surgery, it took 10 hours, twice as long as expected. It's an incredible story. I encourage you to learn about it. And when he did the surgery, they thought it went well, but the big question is she going to wake up? And when she does, is she going to be brain damaged? Will she be able to function? Well, they wheeled her out of the operating theatre in a hospital bed, and her mother ran up and gave her a kiss as she was laying there asleep. Just then, her little eyes flickered open, and at that moment, she said, "I love you, Mummy and Daddy." Little 4-year-old Miranda was just okay. In fact, the surgery was a total success. It's amazing, but Dr. Carson says that happened years ago, and last time he caught up with Miranda, she was tap dancing and making a decision whether or not to go to college. Isn't that absolutely incredible? You know, you and I do not have to be bewildered or intimidated or afraid of making decisions in life. Why not use a BWA every time you face an important decision? Ask yourself, what's the best and worst thing that will happen if I do this plan? And what's the best and worst thing that will happen if I do nothing? Step forward, because decisions are involved in moving ahead in your life of your dreams. Remember, in life, if you want something different, you've got to do something different.